Hello, this video is going to talk all things weight bearing. Okay, so we're going to talk about helping your little one to crawl, to pull to stand, and ultimately to walk. Okay, so we've talked about getting them onto all fours. Once they're on all fours, they need to be strong enough at their hips and strong enough at their shoulders to release one hand or release one leg to crawl. Okay, so if you're worried that they're not moving out of all fours, then this is for you. So we want to work individually on lots of kneeling like we talked about before. And we want to work about starting to get them to raise one hand. So at first, you would only want them to do things that involve them moving their hands on the floor. So things they have to pat, have to push, maybe like a tambourine or popping bubbles down there. As they get better at that, then we want to encourage them to reach up a little bit higher. So we're reaching up for toys. But again, just as you're playing with them, make it all fun. Okay? Crawling is such an important skill. So even if your baby's developed another way of moving, if they roll, or if they bottom shuffle, or if they commando crawl, and they've not pulled themselves up into the all fours position, we still want them to learn how to crawl. So it doesn't really matter if it's not their preferred way of moving. We would like that in an ideal world, but if they don't, we just need to know that they can crawl, because crawling is so important for teaching them to use right and left side together. And that skill is used way down the line when we learn to skip, run, jump, hop. All the things we're asked to do as we grow as children. It is really, really important. So never skip it, even if they're bottom shuffling in the mobile, never skip crawling. Okay, so once they're crawling, the beauty from crawling is that they're then in a perfect position to want to pull to stand. Okay, when we pull to stand, we want to help them bring one foot through into what we call half kneeling. So that would be 1 foot through into half kneeling. So 1 foot through, because then they'll pull to stand. Now an ideal surface is your sofa or a footstool or a box or a laundry basket turned upside down. So lots of encouragement of pull to stand. They will normally pull to stand before they go back down. Quite often they will just land back down. But we want to help teach them to go back down through their knees. So lots of practice of pulling to stand. And engineer your environment. When they're at that point of pulling to stand, move their toys off the floor, so they've got to move to get them. Okay, from standing, the next progression is to help them transfer their weight. So we want to maybe raise one leg up, so they could stand on a book, so they get used to standing on one leg. Then we could stand on a book on this side, so they're starting to transfer weight. This is where they then start to sidestep along furniture, so along the sofa, move the toys. The next progression from there is to get them to play at a vertical surface. So at a mirror or a patio door or a fridge, when you're playing with them, get some suction toys. Suction toys are perfect for this. They want to stand and hold on vertically, and that's harder than holding on horizontally. And then we encourage them to move along a vertical surface. All of these things are leading towards walking. Okay, and then the next thing you can do is they're standing at the sofa, is that we can put another piece of furniture to the side. So they've got to rotate round to reach for it. Rotate round to reach for it. And gradually you make the gap bigger and bigger. So they've got to really stretch. That stand and rotate is so important in helping them transfer weight and helping them take their first steps. So if you've then got a child that is standing but won't take those steps, this is where things like a hoop or a big gym ball are brilliant. So you can get, the big gym ball's a bit big for Joe, but it won't be for your little one. Get him to stand at the ball, bang it, make music. They're great fun. And as he's confident and he's holding on, we would just roll the ball, so he's got to go with it. He's got to follow it. In the same kind of way, we could put Joe into the hoop. We could get him to hold on to the hoop. He's a little bit small for this hoop, and we can hold the hoop. So he's starting to want to take steps, because it's really important that they don't just rely on us. that they don't just become reliant on an adult holding two hands. The other beautiful thing to use is your push along toys, but you might need to weigh them down. So weigh them down so they don't run away with them. Lots and lots of hints and tips on how to make them take those first steps. But if you have worries and you don't feel like your little one is progressing, then as always, get in touch. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video.